Could I sell my possessions and become a nomad? Was this the answer to the antsy feeling I'd had before the flood of needing to go elsewhere? Or should I give heed to my other contradictory feeling of waiting? Waiting for what? Who knows? Maybe for better days, for someone to rescue me, to win the lottery. These were the questions swirling in my head after the flood, and the ones that got me started on my journey of redesigning a magical life. Join me as I chat about how I unraveled these emotions to get some clarity on myself and on my life. I'm the Forest Fairy. Welcome to my corner of the woods where I'm rebuilding, revamping, redesigning a magical life and hopefully inspire you to gather your own fairy dust. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fabulous week. It's been a lovely sunny week in the Overberg with some really hot days but also some quite strong winds. Our conversation this week is about nomading or not, and if not, how to satisfy the travel bug within you, or even that deeper feeling that you may be missing out by staying in one place. I've had the privilege of getting to know many women and men who have put their stuff into storage, packed some essentials and favorites, hoisted their pets under their arms and rode off into the sunset on an exciting adventure, either leaving behind crowded cities or moving to bustling places, quitting stressful jobs and relationships, or even venturing into new ones. And sometimes this was the result of a life-changing event, an illness, a death, a retrenchment, or just a decision for a change. And especially after COVID, it became easier and a lot more acceptable. A few examples among the many are a sister who migrated from Wales to the north of Scotland, a new friend that I met in a local tidal pool who came from the UK to South Africa for a couple of months, then Bali, and now has landed in the beautiful Sydney. And one local good friend who came for a few months and is still here 2 years later. But listening to some of them, I found a very similar pattern. First, it's the honeymoon phase. That first year in my beautiful little village offered me, as it seems with many others, a change from our previous lives. Maybe a time to heal from a stressful time, failed relationships, financial challenges, or just the chance to explore new hobbies, other paths, and new versions of ourselves. Everything and everyone was new, and I embraced the chance to do things a bit differently. I socialized, which led to meeting many wonderful people, making some inspiring close friends, and gaining the feeling of belonging to a community. I love water. Have I mentioned that before? So I took to ocean dipping as well as walking and hiking in this glorious region. By the second year, I wasn't that new anymore. I had made wonderful friends, embedded some really impactful new ways of being and living, and just genuinely loving my new life. My body and mind had adjusted to the relatively relaxed way of living. But then, by the third year, the temporary, semi-furnished, minimalistic living arrangements, which initially felt so hip, happening and free, began to feel like being in limbo, like waiting for something more, something better, something somewhere else. Have you ever felt like that? Realized that you were either sort of holding your breath for something or becoming antsy, without quite knowing why. Almost as if you needed to go again. But where? I asked myself, if not here, arguably one of the most beautiful and sought of places in the world, then where? What other place would relieve my waiting and antsy feelings? Initially, I thought it was because I didn't own property and that buying some would help me feel rooted. So I did, only to realize that a piece of ground actually added stress, and I'm now selling it. Then I was flooded and forced to be a nomad for a couple of months. I did some traveling, 7 hours up the coast to spend time with my sister, and a road trip to Namibia to attend a wedding. As many of you probably do, I love the idea of working in exotic, sunny places such as Bali, Costa Rica, or Portugal, and not being bogged down with too much stuff. It's amazing to see new places, experience other cultures, meet new people up close and personal for more than a few weeks. But could I sell my possessions and become a nomad? After yet another heart-to-heart on this topic with God, the universe, or whatever you're comfortable with, I realized I would rather occasionally nomad for a few months, from a permanent base housing my bits and pieces, than permanently nomad with just a few things. For it to work financially this way around, it would necessitate a very pared down version of my previous life a few years ago. The monies were used on living larger, could then be saved for what I really enjoy, big and small adventures. I started sorting, as you'll see in my video, what's the purpose of your home. It isn't as easy as I thought to let go of stuff. At first I was sad and upset as I felt my life was getting smaller, more insignificant, as I got rid of stuff I had for so long and had bought at other phases of my life. Well, my daughter corrected me quite quickly. My life wasn't becoming smaller, but rather lighter, more flexible, so that from this compact base I could easily go adventuring. I decided to commit to this base both in environment and in time, but not saying for a moment that I must dig my roots in here and this is where I'll be forever and ever and that I won't ever move again. No, not at all. This is just a commitment to enjoy and honor the now. I concluded I'm actually very happy in my little village and I needed to delve down into the antsiness and the feeling of waiting. Continuing like this was detrimental to my emotional and mental health. You've probably heard this quote many times and in various forms. You have the tools, the courage, the power. You have it all. You are the author of your own life. If you don't like how it goes, write it differently. This is a quote by author Ivor Kenaz, and that is now not just a meme or some motivational speaker on repeat. I realized it was the antidote to my antsiness and my waiting. If it wasn't the place, then it was me, myself, and I. What was I doing or not doing that made me feel this way? I am the only one who actually knows what I want. I'm the only one responsible for my life. I'm the only one able to change things. And that's how my journey to redesigning a magical life began. And it is definitely a journey as I discover many things about myself, about how I want to be and live, how I want my life to look and feel, what's important to me, and how I want to show up in the world. I'm sharing the good, the bad, the ugly with you, insights that I have, lessons that I learn, guidance that I receive. Just maybe our conversations will provide you with some aha moments and inspire you to relook your life and create your own magic and fairy dust. If you enjoyed this conversation, you'll like the one about what's the purpose of your home. Until next time, goodbye.